21, level 21. Dude, I should speak on this right now actually. You guys know the 6'7" joke? The little meme that's going around on TikTok and all the social media. Oh, 6'7". First of all, I want to say that the joke itself makes absolutely no sense. Just some random kid just said 6'7" out of nowhere, and the world just ran with it. And they're like, "Oh, this is so hilarious! Isn't this funny, guys?" And what I have to say is, no, it's absolutely not hilarious at all. In fact, I think it's kind of stupid. And in my opinion, 6'7" has been done better in the form of what's 9 plus 10? 21? You stupid. No, I'm not. That that meme alone, that Vine, I should say, that Vine alone generated two separate memes. The "you stupid." No, I'm not. And what's 9 plus 10? 21. But it was mainly what took off from that one was 21. 21 was the popular out of the "you stupid." No, I'm not. I wonder what happened to that kid, man. Where is that kid now? But yeah, with 21, 21 made sense. It made sense even though the kid got the answer wrong, you know what I'm saying? It at least has some sort of an origin, I suppose. I mean, with 6'7", there is an origin, right? I mean, just some stupid kid decided to say 6'7" out of nowhere. But in my opinion, it's stupid. It's stupid. I'm not even gonna kill you. I'm just gonna walk in third person. How do I holster my... There you go. I'm just gonna walk. Roam the streets of post-apocalyptic London. Post-nuclear London. Listen, man. With 6'7", there's no reason for it to exist. You know what I'm saying? Just some random guy, some random little kid randomly says 6'7", and now it's a thing. But with the 9 plus 10, 21, that makes sense because there's an adult asking his, I would assume to be son or little brother, somebody, some sort of relation, asking them a question, and they happen to answer incorrectly, and the delivery is hilarious. Plus, I think it's also funny that he calls him stupid, right? Like, there's layers to it. Okay, it's like an onion, all right. We're like Shrek up in this bitch. There's layers to it. But with 6'7", there's really nothing there. It's just the kid says 6'7", and then that's it. And it's apparently supposed to be the funniest thing ever. I disagree. It's completely preposterous, and if you think it's funny, then your humor is just flawed, in my opinion. I want to tell a bit of a story now. So, where I work in the schools in my area, and I get to choose which schools I work at. And on this specific day, I worked with some third graders. I was in a classroom. I was in there helping out the teacher, whatnot. At the end of the school day, we played a game of Jeopardy. The class did, that is. Played a little game of Jeopardy, and the teacher allowed the students to choose the names of their teams because that's how it was going to be ran, separate teams. And for the most part, the names were pretty innocent. You had the Blues, the Knights, the Suns, that sort of thing. But then this one guy, I forget his name. This guy, the teacher asks him, what's your team name gonna be? And he says 6'7", and the entire class erupts into laughter, dude. And the teacher was like really confused. She was like, what in the world? Like, what's going on? And I just rolled my eyes because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, are you for real? The entire class just erupted into laughter, and she quickly moved on. She was like, alright, that was weird, whatever. And go and like is fine with having that name for the team, whatever. And the game of Jeopardy starts, and the teacher goes around from team to team. Eventually, it comes to the guy's team, the 6'7" team, and then she says, "Okay, 6'7", and the entire class erupts into laughter. And then she's just really confused. She's like, "Guys, like, what is so funny?" and like they're still kind of like giggling, whatever. And then you know, they do another go around, and then she says, "Okay, 6-7," and the entire class. This time, mind you, each time that she says 6-7, the class doesn't laugh as loudly as before. This time, like she's had enough. She's like, "Okay, guys, like it's not that funny. It's really not." And the entire class just goes quiet. They're dead. They're like, "What? It's not funny anymore?" Oh, hold on, hold on. I wanted to add this. So she says like, she's like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, I have no clue." And like she asked the class like, "What is so funny?" And the class just couldn't answer. They couldn't tell her. And the thing that I also wanted to bring up is that with what's 9 plus 10, 21. With that, back in the day, okay, in my youth, whenever somebody said 21, right, like the whole class would erupt into laughter or what have you, and the teacher would be confused. She's like, "What's so funny? What's so funny about 21?" And you could show her the video, so there was an explanation like readily available. Like someone in the class would like go up to them and like show them on the computer, what have you. And it was explainable, but with 6-7, the class did not know why they were laughing. And this is what concerns me, is that like these kids, specifically this classroom that I was working with, in my opinion, are programmed, okay, programmed to respond in this manner whenever they hear, "Oh shit, oh my gosh, how did I live?" Anyways, they are programmed to respond in this manner. They have no idea why they are laughing. They can't explain why it's funny. If you don't know why you're laughing at something, then, you know, in my opinion, you don't know why it's funny. You're just responding to a stimulus, in my opinion. Okay, and when you have this, in my opinion, this is an indicator of the fall of society. Now, I know that sounds a bit dramatic, and this is just the one thing, right? You know, maybe humor will not go in this direction, but if it does, in my opinion, if humor just becomes you responding to stimuli when the stimuli, one, isn't that funny in the first place, two is just completely random, like what's next? Is cheesecake? Just somebody says cheesecake, and like the whole, like whatever, the internet, everyone just runs with it. "Oh, it's cheesecake, it's so funny." Every time they see the word cheesecake, every time they hear the word cheesecake, they just start laughing. If society goes in this direction, it is an indicator of the fall of society. Okay, I can't really explain to you why, but I feel as if whatever society as a whole deems as humorous is like somewhat of a microcosm of greater society. If society begins to think that these external stimuli are funny, then, you know, humor is gonna like just tank completely. And like I said, humor is somewhat of a microcosm of greater society. So what does that indicate for greater society? A collapse, guys. A collapse. Now, in the West, in the United States, in my opinion, you know, we're already in the collapse. We're in the midst of the collapse. It's a quieter collapse, mind you. It's not like Fallout here where, like, you know, we're not gonna be in the apocalypse, right? We're not gonna have raider gangs going about, unless you have like a bunch of people band together and really like actually genuinely do something constructive, okay? And not just like, I don't know, storm the you know, Washington DC and go into the Congress building and be like, "Oh, we've been in there ain't nothing going on." Like, what was the point of that? They just went in there and did nothing. They made no demands, nothing. Like, come on, dude. You guys had a golden opportunity and you guys showed up and left. So, you know, if we really want to make a change, we gotta go in with already ideas is to be presented, so then, you know, Congress can actually start to make moves to make changes. Because guys, at the end of the day, at least in the United States, we the people, okay, the people ultimately have the power over the government, okay? If one day the people as a whole, okay, not just to select like 1% of the population, as a whole decided I'm not going to go into work today, okay, what would happen? Everybody would suddenly panic. The United States would suddenly come to a halt because like nothing is happening, okay? There's no distributing of goods. There's no manufacturing of goods. Everything would suddenly stop in the United States, and this would cause disruptions. Now, during this time, it is important to organize as a whole, come up with some ideas to present to Congress in order to make a change for the greater American society. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just ranting at this point, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. 6 7 isn't funny. What's 9 plus 10? 21. You stupid. No, I'm not. Was a lot funnier. We gotta organize. We gotta come up with a plan to present. We gotta come up with a PowerPoint presentation. Okay. I don't know what it would be. I don't have all the answers, fellas. But I'm just here spewing rants. So with that being said, like, subscribe. I'm out this bitch.